Hello and welcome back to the ALIZEE YEEZY show. I am your host, ALIZEE. Let me do that again.
Leave that in.
Hello. Hello and welcome back to the
Oh God, it's gonna be this.
Welcome back to the ALIZEE YEEZY show. Olo, I am your host, ALIZEE YEEZY.
Why are you looking at me? Look at the camera.
All right, I was just.
Connecting with
Kes
the
Motion
audience.
is behind the camera, just like stuffing his face with some nice sandwiches. It's distracting very much. Hello, I'm here with my co-host this week, Kieron.
Hi.
I like how I said I'm going to have a variety of co-hosts on. It's just been you for the past three.
I should come playing different characters. That should just be it.
That'd be too much effort.
I'll wear a
Don't bother
top
with
hat and a
that.
mustache next time.
One of those things
Be the
like
Monopoly man or
glasses and the
something.
nose.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Disguise.
It's just because I am very disorganised at the moment, but I will have other co-hosts on. Don't worry, you don't have to.
Come in for my job.
How have you been up to? What's been going on with you this week?
Nothing too interesting. Just same old. Work and uni.
That's fucking good for my show, isn't it?
I'm
What have you been up
sorry.
to? Absolutely fuck all.
Yeah, I don't have
Way.
any interesting stories for you.
Well, I've got loads.
Yeah, I
don't
bet
worry.
you do.
I walk outside and people start talking to me. It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
No, last night. So I stayed in Hackney last night because I saw. I don't know why I explained that. Like anyone's, where'd you stay last night? Stayed in Hackney. I saw
At
an
the exact
independent
address.
musician called Rudy Edwards, and she is incredible. I'm definitely going to get her on the podcast. I've actually known her for several years because I met her when I was still drinking because she worked at this pub near where I used to live, like in Bethnal Greenish.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd just go in on the Sundays at the roast and get absolutely trashed. And she was fantastic. And I knew that she was doing music, but I hadn't really heard. So I got tickets to go to her gig last night. It was fucking, seriously, one of the best voices I've ever heard live.
Wow.
Genuinely. She did this variation of Barbie Girl, by Aqua.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, you heard of that one. Not that sheltered.
Barbie?
The
Who's
younger
Barbie?
generation don't know anything. God, what are you? Are you a Gen Zer?
I don't think so. I think I'm like on the cusp of millennial. I don't know though.
Because I'm definitely a
'Cause I'm
millennial.
mid-90s.
I saw an article on BuzzFeed about the differences between there was this. Let me finish. Rudy Edwards was fucking fantastic. She
Yeah.
did this Barbie Girl, and it was the vocal. I can't get over it. So I asked her, come on my podcast. She's well up for it. That'll be good. You won't have to. You won't have to help me out that week.
Okay, great.
But no, it was fantastic. Rudy Edwards, check her out. Her music videos are doing really well on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are
she's
they
had
like
like
professionally?
I think so.
Or is it like an amateur situation?
Well, I'm not sure, but it's been getting. Is it professionally done? Professionally done, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
She
I love that for her.
yeah, she's had like at least 100,000 views on like one of the most recent music videos.
100,000.
Doing better than me.
Ah!
How dare she? She's gonna have to come here and ask to
You'll
steal
go on
her
her
clout.
podcast.
Yeah, I know. But she's solid. She's so I was blown away from it. I was actually really inspired, not to sing myself, but just to do more of my fucking life.
Yeah, definitely.
It was also really nice being out last night, just being around randoms, like, at a gig. It was nice to
a
do
sentence I never thought I'd hear you say.
What, being around randoms?
Being around people. Enjoyed it.
I'm only grumpy half the time because people just
Okay.
come up to me and start talking to me or like telling me off, like this woman outside of Boots did today. Because I had my phone out and she was like, "You don't have your phone out because people come by on bicycles and steal them." And I was like,
Don't care,
"Oh."
didn't ask.
That's what I felt like. I felt like being like, really did ask.
Yeah.
It's happened to me once before, someone on a moped first.
I've also had my phone stolen.
I think it's a rite of passage. This happens to like my best mate.
Yeah,
Has it happened to
yeah.
you, Kes Motion? Never had your phone stolen? Not a true Londoner. Don't
Right.
matter, he was
If it
born and
hasn't
bred.
happened yet, it will.
You got that to look forward to. Nice bright future
He's going to be
ahead of
standing
you.
outside later. I'm just going to run past and steal his phone.
Right, so, BuzzFeed. I
Yeah.
saw this article and it was about this Gen Zer was dating this millennial, and which isn't that much of a...
Star-crossed lovers. The modern day Romeo and Juliet.
It wasn't that much of like an age gap. I mean,
Yeah.
it couldn't really be. But this
Sure.
article was about like the differences culturally, or not culturally, age-wise, I suppose.
I dread to think.
A lot of it, I was like, wait, I do this Gen Z stuff.
Yeah.
This millennial sounds like a boomer in what I'm guessing is a 30-year-old's body.
That's the thing. I feel like the millennials are becoming more boomerish by the year.
What? You
Like-
say this about me?
Yes.
How am I boom? I am a little bit sometimes. Just
You,
get fed up.
yeah, I deleted my Instagram because there's stupid young people on there.
Not knowing that trillionaires don't
Oh,
exist.
God.
Sorry, like
Let's
there's
not
no,
get into it again.
there's no
because-
hope for the future generation.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. I
People
would
don't
say.
know how to Google properly, but actually, you do find that in all walks of life. That people just don't know how to Google properly. Like being
Okay.
able to Google properly should be a skill that you should be able to put on your CV.
You think there's like Googling properly versus Googling like not properly?
Yes, because so like for people that work in IT,
Yeah.
a lot of problems can actually be rectified if you just Google. And yeah, people from IT, they have horror stories about horrible people.
I can imagine, yeah.
My mate, who works at one of the councils in London that shall not be named, doesn't even do IT, but gets IT questions from the other boomers that work there. And it's
Oh,
the most,
God.
it's infuriating.
How
It's
to use the
insufferable.
fax machine.
Speaking of boomers, I saw the best thing on Facebook that I would like to bring up for today.
Okay.
So there's a journo called Giles
Giles, I would say?
Coren. Giles Coren. Heard of him?
I think so. The name rings a bell.
He's been around for a while because I've heard of him, but I
Yeah.
don't think I've ever, experienced anything he's done. I just think he's been around. And he wrote this with the Times. Men are write-offs when it comes to novels. Unless you're Richard Osman or Robert Galbraith, who's really a woman anyway. That's J.K. Rowling, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's clear writing is no job for a man. Even my own 2005 novel, Winkler, was no sooner in print than winning the Bad Sex Award. 3 years of effort, some perfectly decent words.
Sorry, what's the Bad Sex Award?
Just, I think, badly written sex scenes
Okay.
in novels, I'm assuming.
I was going to say.
Perfectly decent words in roughly the right order. Remember that, perfectly decent words. And all I got was a load of raspberries blown by a room full of plummy virgins who'd only come for the free Soave. S-O-A-V-E. Soave. What's that? What is it?
I blacked out when you
Wine?
spelled it.
Did you? Just pass out. Just I've had enough out-of-body experience.
Yeah.
It's wine. Is it wine? The free Soave. Is that how you pronounce it? Hurry up. Come on, team.
Research team.
Soave.
No, that one.
S-O-A-V-E. Soave.
Sove.
A-V-E.
Yeah. The free Soave and strippers. Scorn and mockery, boys. Scorn and mockery. That's all there is in the novelist's life. Do you want to read? Do you want to hear an excerpt of this sex scene?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Suave. Suave. What a ridiculous word. Suave.
Yeah, that is
It's just
ridiculous.
stupid.
But
Thank
the whole
you.
thing sounds ridiculous.
So this is from his book
I want
Winkler.
to know what wins the Bad Sex Award. Come on.
This is get ready, like
Okay.
strap in, strap on. This is.
Gosh, am I going to be able to contain myself?
I might have to buy this book and read it and roast it.
Please do.
And he came hard in her mouth. And his dick jumped around and rattled on her teeth, and he blacked out. And she took his dick out of her mouth and lifted herself from his face and whipped the pillow away. And he gasped and glugged at the air, because you love a sex scene when there's glugging involved.
Jesus.
And he came again so hard that his dick wrenched out of her hand. This is a run-on sentence, by the way. There's been no full stop
Oh
yet.
my God.
And a shot of it hit him straight in the eye.
This happened to the best of us.
And stung like nothing he'd ever had in there. And he yelled with the pain. But the yell could have been anything. And as she grabbed at his dick, which was leaping around like a shower dropped in an empty bath. What?
What?
That's very evocative imagery, isn't it?
Why is this
How
dick
strong?
so active?
How
Yeah,
strong is your
what?
shower head? But I don't get this. As she grabbed at his dick, she scratched his back deeply with the nails of both hands. And how's she grabbing at the penis if the nails of both hands are scratched? Like,
Well,
she
she
got
obviously
three
has
arms.
3 arms. Yeah. Don't shame her.
Don't body shame her.
Yeah. Come on.
And he shot 3 more times in thick stripes on her chest, like Zorro.
It's quite
Full
simply.
stop. Zorro.
It's quite simply not possible.
And someone on Twitter was like, yeah, girls, mate, that's why your book got mercilessly mocked and ridiculed, then pathetically flopped because you're a man. Sure, that's why.
Pathetically flopped like a shower dropped in an empty bar.
For the people asking very good questions about what his editors were thinking, letting his book go out like this, this is an email from Giles Kieron to his sub-editors at the Times when they removed a single word from one of his columns.
Yeah.
I don't really like people tinkering with my copy for the sake of tinkering. I do not enjoy the suggestion that you have a better ear or eye for what I want my words to read than I do. Owen, we discussed your turning 3 of my long sentences into 6 short ones in a single piece and how that wasn't going to happen anymore. So I'm really hoping it wasn't you that fucked up my review on Saturday.
Oh my gosh.
Charles Kieron is incredible. We should get
Is
him
it
on
not
the podcast.
satire? Okay, that's interesting.
Isn't he wasn't he a food journo? Why is he writing sex?
The leap from food to sex is not that far, I don't think.
Well, someone write. The funny thing is that actually my mum is at the studio and she heard all of that and she does not look very impressed. She's choking on her croissant.
I was wondering if we were going to bring that up.
We've got a live studio audience here today. Kez Motion, can you... I'll go get some sugar then. Kez Motion, can you quickly Google Giles Kieron? Giles.
Giles.
What does he do?
Giles with a J.
G.
Giles.
I'm very sure that he was some sort of...
Kieron.
Yes, some sort of food journo.
He's a columnist, food writer, television radio presenter.
Food.
restaurant
Told
critic,
you.
Yeah.
And now he's writing erotica.
Yes, restaurant critic turned erotica writer. Weirder things have happened, I suppose, like my whole career trajectory.
The restaurant critic to erotic writer pipeline.
Christ.
Yeah.
What a legend.
I know, but he just sounds very bitter. And I can actually use my expertise here because him like blaming it on like, oh, it's because I'm a man, my book doesn't sell, is something called self-serving bias, where you attribute any positive attributes from the inside internally. Like, I make friends because I'm a friendly person, but anything negative you attribute to external factors. So my book doesn't sell because only women writers are successful.
I do this with my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel isn't doing amazingly, and it's because I'm a
Yeah.
girl, even though other
Everyone
girls
does
do
that.
loads better than me, but still doesn't count.
Yeah. Like, if someone kills me in a video game, it's not because they're better at me in the video game. It's because, like, they have a better internet connection. Or something.
Right.
Or some other
Right.
bullshit, you know? We're all susceptible to it. So, aha, Giles. I've just psychologied you. Yeah, so actually, I have some bad news.
What?
We're not going to be able to go to Salt Bay's restaurant anymore because he has announced that he's leaving London already.
What?
I know, and I've literally just seen this headline, so this is like fresh news, hot off the presses.
We're so up to date and informative.
I know,
I love
right?
it. This is the best. This is like Good Morning Britain, but better.
Yeah, exactly. So he's leaving London now, like randomly.
Right now, he's on a plane. Where's he going?
Saudi Arabia.
Thank
Why?
you.
Why is he going to Saudi Arabia? What's he doing there?
Another newsletter.
To open
Yeah.
another.
Apparently, it's like
Oh.
going to be his like 27th or 28th restaurant. How crazy is that?
28 restaurants. Why? Was he really successful before the whole, look. For audio listeners, I just did the salt off the elbow
The Salt Bay
thing.
thing.
So he did run restaurants in the past.
He ran restaurants in the past.
Success has boomed since the whole internet.
Success has boomed since his viral fame. I really do not like Salt Bay. I don't like. He's probably a nice person. Well, actually, how nice can you be if you're charging £9 for a Coke and like what £14 for a Red Bull or whatever?
I just read
bullshit
that
is.
someone spent £37,000 on dinner at his restaurant.
Was a lot of that the alcohol? Not saying that makes it okay, but still, like the amount of upsell you can get on £9 on a bottle of wine. Why? Who cares?
It can't taste
Can't
that
be
much nicer than bottom shelf Echo Falls. Like, come on.
Or the £3 stuff that tastes a bit like petrol.
Yeah.
Do you know what we
The
used-
alcoholics in us coming out.
Do you know what I used to do? I used to get like the cheapest bottle of white wines,
Yeah.
and a bottle of diet lemonade, of course.
You
Gotta
sure?
watch your weight
Just to take
while
the edge
you're
off.
downing this.
Yeah, right.
You get a pint glass and you put in like, I don't know, 500 mils of white wine
Yeah.
and just top it off some lemonade, and you can down that. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe normal people
And
can't
I'm sure
down
that tastes
but
like a £9 bottle, just the same.
gets you absolutely slaughtered. What's the
Yeah.
point of spending like 10 grand on? I don't know.
Because I think some people aren't drinking just to get drunk.
What a weird concept.
I know, right?
How do people do that?
Yeah.
Is it like the difference between having pub grub cocaine, which is like £40 a bag.
Yeah.
And the good stuff, which is
Premium
100,
cocaine.
150. Because
Yeah,
the good
probably.
shit is good. It is better. It's like snow.
The reviews are in.
Powdery. It's nice.
Salt Bay with cocaine.
Salt Bay.
That's the restaurant I'll go to.
Yes, look, he's probably an all right person, but I do not
Don't say that.
like what he. I have to like have a little disclaimer. I am kind of coming for him. I don't like everything he represents about viral fame and then exploiting it. Well, on one hand, you're going to, but on the other hand, so he got famous for sprinkling salt off the elbow, which how hygienic is that?
Not
of elbow
hygienic
grease.
at all.
Yeah, like how
come
often
on.
are you washing your elbows?
Not often enough to be doing that.
Like
for
maybe
sure.
once a day, but if you're going to be doing that all the time, like his elbow's going to be sore. They're going to be dry and cracked from washing them
that's
so
true.
much.
I don't know. Is there research onto the effects of salt on skin? Because if he's doing it for every single table,
It's going to be rubbed
quite
raw.
a busy restaurant.
What if one day he has like a cut in his elbow and every
Ooh.
time it's just causing him pain?
I'm sure they'll get someone else in for that then.
Okay, so sprinkling salt off the elbow,
Yeah.
it does nothing. There's absolutely no difference in doing that
No
and then just
purpose for it,
sprinkling
yeah.
normally, which leads me to the logical conclusion that he did that because he thought it looked cool.
Yeah.
And millions of fucking people
Yeah,
seem to agree.
the
And then he
internet
went,
agreed.
which drives me to, how is this, sorry, how is this cool? Like, I'm
I don't
sorry,
know.
I don't get
But
it.
the thing is, sometimes there's something on the internet which you see and you're like, okay, yeah, that's kind of like an interesting video. That's kind of a cool concept. And then like the internet just runs with it in such a way to make it like the least cool thing ever.
Sure, but doing this is not cool in the first place.
Yeah,
and the
fair
fact
enough.
that he got such viral fame and can now
Yeah.
open, 30 restaurants where he's charging £9 for a Coca-Cola.
I can tell that in particular has like really bothered you. Not the like £850 steaks.
Well, I do know that there are like Wagyu beef, right, which
Yeah.
is very expensive. But didn't you say that apparently his steaks are not that you've gone.
Yes, like
The podcast is doing really well. We've just gone to Salt-Based Restaurant.
every day I gorge on steaks at Salt Bay's restaurant.
But yeah, didn't you say that people were complaining that it's not good quality?
Yeah, and also there's loads of weird internet videos like circulating of like
Of what?
just like him doing like weird things that's
What
like
do you
supposed to
mean?
be fancy, but it's not. Like he just like I think I saw a video where he like sliced up some food and then he like poured gravy on it and it just didn't look good. It looked like a bowl of like cat food or something. But then like everyone there is paying like thousands of pounds for it. So they're like, yeah, you know. But I think rich people are just like a bit weird. No offense, rich people.
Yeah, if anyone rich is watching this podcast, can you just, instead of the money you would
First
have
of all,
spent...
my PayPal is in the description.
Exactly. Don't spend 30 grand at Salt-Based Restaurant for like some
Send it
subpar
to me.
meat and some like, I
Yeah.
don't know, salty elbow sweat.
Right.
Send it to me instead and I'll put it to better use.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't.
If you
Probably
want
just go to
subpar
Salt-Based
meat,
Restaurant.
just read Giles Corran's new novel.
Absolutely rank. So yeah, Salt Bay, big bad.
Salt Bay, feel free to come here and defend yourself.
I wouldn't have him in the room.
You wouldn't have Salt Bay here.
I really don't feel that we have that much in common that we could just discuss
You
things.
feel like you have more in common with Gemma Collins.
Oh, absolutely. Like if
Okay.
Salt Bay was here, I'd be so stuck on the
Yeah.
£9 Coke because you can get you can get cans of Coca-Cola for like 80p.
Yeah.
Where are you getting off? And also, like, you know how like cinemas
Uh-huh.
is it upselling? Not when you,
Upselling is when you get people to buy more. Do you
What's
mean
the
like
one where-
marking the price up?
that's it. Thank you. Words. It's
I've
very
worked
early
in
for
customer
me.
service.
It's like 11 a.m. It's very
Yeah.
early. I'm not,
Yeah, it
the
is.
coffee hasn't sunk in yet.
Right.
But you know, at cinemas, when they just
Yeah.
get like the kind of syrup and then they add whatever and then they get it for pennies and then they sell it for pounds.
Yeah.
That's still not as bad as
It
like
tastes good though.
that and McDonald's Coke. It just hits different. I'm
Yeah.
sure. Well, Salt-Based Coke tastes
McDonald's
the best.
Sprite though. Like my soul actually leaves my body when I drink
I
McDonald's
don't
Sprite.
drink Sprite.
What?
Weird.
Oh my god.
Nah, Sprite.
Okay, fair
It's
enough.
Odd.
That's fine.
Oh, I'm
then.
joking. It's just lemonade, isn't it?
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
never that keen on lemonade.
Only when there's bottom shelf white wine
I
mixed
don't
in.
believe this. Kesmotion has got so sick
It's
of our
not a business
conversation.
call, is it?
He's just-
business.
He's just left.
It's like, I'm done.
He's got the Salt-Based Restaurant. He's Salt-Based on the phone to him right now. He's like, what's this I
Salt
heard?
Bay's like, cut the cameras. No, but when I go to the cinema, to be fair, I do just prepare myself to spend like £100. I'm just like,
Remortgage. I don't even have a mortgage, but remortgage the flat for some
exactly.
cinema tickets.
I'm sorry, I'm short on rent. I had a frozen Fanta fruit twist at View, and I'm just not going to be able to pay my bills this month.
Do you know what? I went to the cinema not too long ago, and they always say, look, it's better value if you just get the extra large or whatever.
Yeah.
They always fucking say that, and
Yeah.
you end up saving like 50p. But then the Coca-Cola, it was a litre. Like a litre.
Yeah.
And I love Coca-Cola, and I
Yeah.
couldn't finish that. It was a litre. Who's drinking a litre?
The cinema I go to, the like extra large drinks are literally like bigger than my head, and I've got quite a big head. I don't know if you can tell, but I still drink it all.
You're a mad person.
I know. Sometimes, like even in the opening of the film, and I'm done. You know,
Popcorn's all gone.
especially if you've got that salty popcorn going.
That's how they get you.
That is how they get you.
Afterwards, your mouth is just
Because you will drink
fucked.
gallons. Gallons. So yeah, maybe they're onto something. Maybe it is a good business plan.
Salt Bay bad, cinemas big bad.
Yeah. But the cinemas, I'll let them off.
Actually, continuing on about Salt Bay, I know what the title of this video is going to be, so I'm slagging him off. Salt Bay's London restaurant is hiring chefs, and the hourly wage is the price of mashed potato on his menu.
Oh god.
His lavish London restaurant has been under fire in recent weeks, and right now, this morning. First, there was the sky-high prices, £700 for a steak. Then the luxury eatery was accused of deleting negative customer reviews. That always cracks me up, though. Can restaurants do that? Delete negative reviews?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know though, like on some platforms, I think you can. Like you can, like if it's say like TripAdvisor, you can send them like an email and be like, this review's bullshit, please take it down. And I think sometimes they will.
I always do wonder about the validity of people saying, oh, negative comments or whatever are being deleted. Because I've seen it so many times with YouTubers where, like, you go in the comment section and people will say, oh, they're deleting my comments. I left a negative comment. It's like, no, the way the comment section just works is, like, especially if it's like a hot topic that's happened, there's thousands of people commenting. You're not going to be able to find your comments again. And they can get caught up. And also, sometimes I do think, I really doubt that this particular YouTuber is going through and deleting
Combing
negative.
through,
Yeah, like I think they've got other things to do with their time.
I think people just have like an inflated sense of self-importance that they think like, yes, my comment has
it
been...
got deleted. They saw it.
Exactly.
It's not true. Now the Celebrity Hangout is hiring new chefs. The hourly wage has raised eyebrows. They're just repeating the title. Okay. He promised a competitive salary for applicants. Some aren't happy. That this seems to be only worth... They've repeated like 3 times in the beginning that it's the same as a mashed potato. We get it. It gets the fucking good stuff, Metro.
The article I read was that it was the same as a corn on the cob. So now I'm like, the corn on the cob and the mashed potato must be the same price.
If you manage to land the role as a chef de partie at the Knightsbridge restaurant, you'll take home £12 to £13 an hour plus tips. Which I find that sus, because some people are being like, oh, plus tips.
How are you tipping a chef though?
I've worked in bars with, you know, like a kitchen attached.
Yeah.
And like chefs haven't seen tips from those, like with kind of corporate companies.
Yeah.
Unless
you're doing like a pool and splitting it between everyone. But still, you're not going to end up with much.
So I'm not sure if the chefs actually are getting the tips. So for your hourly wage, you could order a side portion of mash or a corn on the cob. But if you wanted to try the £630 golden tomahawk steak, you'd have to work for 52 hours. Look, this guy is rich. Can you not just pay them like 20 quid an hour or something?
Capitalism be capitalism.
It's little wonder Salt Bay is hiring, as his mass hiring spree last month didn't turn out as planned. The Sun revealed not a single responded to the recruitment call out for waiters, runners, bartenders, or other roles. I find that a bit strange.
That is weird.
Is that true? It's from the Sun. Is that true? There are people who are like
news source.
people are desperate for, like, some people would be desperate for it.
I think there is a bit of a drought at the minute because no one wants to work in hospitality.
Actually, I watched a Russell Brand video about this the other day, that 4 million Americans are currently unemployed and there's like 10 million job opportunities because people just aren't willing to because Russell Brand described it as like you're renting out your time to companies, which I thought was a really good way of looking at it. When you have a job, you're renting out your time. And if they're not going to meet you fucking halfway on something decent, why bother?
Yeah.
And we've realised with the pandemic that actually we like a lot of work can be automated and can be from home, can be done remotely.
Yeah.
And also we like spending time with our families. Well, some of us, you know?
Yeah.
I don't. That's why my mum's here. I'm joking. I'm joking. She's going to leave in a bit. She's well mad. The restaurant specials include a golden. Well, that's always nonsense. Oh, it's got
Anything
gold
gold,
leaf.
I hate.
It doesn't taste of anything. Doesn't do anything.
People on the internet think that making things gold inherently makes it better. I disagree. Like those golden chicken wings that were like knocking about.
What?
It's like, they think that.
Who did that? McDonald's.
That guy, that weird guy, is Jonathan? What's his name?
Who's Jonathan? Just some bloke on the internet.
No, he was married to someone famous. One of the Kardashians, maybe, or like he was adjacent to one of the Kardashians.
Right.
Anyway, he did a video eating like gold chicken wings or something, and it was like £1,000 a pop. And I just think, just because it's got gold on it, you know.
Which, yeah, don't add nothing, and
No.
you can buy it quite like cheaply because it's just really thin like paper, isn't it?
To me, if something is like coated in gold, that doesn't look edible or like appetizing for me.
An onion flour costs £18. Why are you laughing?
What
An
is
onion
it?
flour. An onion flour isn't that like, huh? Cancellation just went 60p for an onion. 60p. He's giggling away like a little school kid.
Yeah.
Well, an onion flour isn't. No, I thought, or am I thinking of an onion balloon, which is like 2,000 calories? You dip it in batter,
Yeah.
you deep fry it. I think an American restaurant chain
Yeah.
chain.
Yeah. You're
Does
having
that.
trouble today.
I am. I'm just my words aren't working. It's too early for
Yeah.
me. Too early. £18. A Coke, £9. A Red Bull, £11. You can get like 50p energy drinks from the corner shop.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Sorry, but when you can't mark up the price on like branded stuff. Like that's just ridiculous.
According to Glassdoor, the average wage for a chef de partie in London is 22 grand, which when broken down is into the hourly rate
Yeah.
of £11.
Still not much.
So Salt Bay, he is offering £1 to £2 more, but the guy's like a multi-millionaire.
Yeah, and for the prices they're selling stuff at, you can afford to increase your wages a little bit.
Yeah, and you just know if someone's there and they're blowing 30 grand on, they're gonna
Yeah.
chuck an extra grand on for tips.
Do you think?
Well, I'd like to think
Sometimes I
so.
find that the richer people are the stingiest of all.
Really?
Yeah. Exactly. It's usually like the people that like, well, not that like every person I see, I assume like how much money they have, but it seems like people who are like maybe like less well off actually tip more because I guess they're like more understanding
Yeah.
and they're just nicer.
Well,
Poor people nice, rich people bad. That's my stance.
Salt Bay, big bad.
Yeah. Salt Bay, if you're watching this, we challenge you to pay your employees a better wage. There's going to be a headline tomorrow like, Salt Bay gives everyone a raise.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Maybe we can go get jobs there
Just
then.
because of random weirdo on the internet.
Oh, could you imagine working in Knightsbridge as well?
No,
Working in
I couldn't imagine
Working
that.
I wouldn't want to do
Full
that.
of wankers.
Pretty much.
That's the thing. I
If
saw
you're from
some-
Knightsbridge, well,
Yeah,
if you're
sorry.
look, if you're not you're not a wanker if you're here, are you? Watching this?
Yeah, that's
It's-
true.
it's the other ones, they're no
Automatically
good.
decreed. You are not a wanker.
I could just imagine it would just wouldn't be a
Yeah.
Just
I
wouldn't be
saw
a
a
good job.
video of a guy in Salt Bay's restaurant and he had like a grey bowler hat on and like a grey suit. If anyone is watching this wearing that exact outfit, again, I'm sorry. And I just thought, oh, you give me a weird vibe. Because he was also like really pale. He looked like, you know, when you have those like internet videos and it's like those weird men, like Men in Black kind of things, but like people think they exist in real life. He kind of looked like that. But I don't know why Men in Black would be at Salt Bay's restaurant.
Men in Black totally exist in real life. Well, sometimes they
Yeah.
get hungry too, right? And
Yeah,
you'd like to
that's
think
true.
if they're hiding the
Not for a
existence of
£900
aliens,
steak.
you'd like to
Someone should
think
be
they're on
paying
a
them
good
well.
wage.
Yeah, probably.
you know, maybe it's like a government expense for them.
Mm.
Actually, well, what you were saying then, I was thinking this person sounds like a vampire, really pale,
Yeah,
bowler hat
yeah,
from like a
maybe.
different century. Speaking of vampires,
Salt Bay is selling blood on the side.
he might do.
Yeah, maybe.
Poached from hospitals, marked up like
He's truly
like what
evil.
a grand
Yeah,
a pint of
right.
blood.
It would be, wouldn't it?
We're not saying that Salt Bay is actually selling blood. I don't know. He might.
Yeah. I'm not going to discount anything. at
He's
this
very
point.
rich. He could sue
Yeah,
us.
exactly.
Try it. Try it. See what happens.
Speaking of rich people who are weird, have you seen the whole like Facebook company like brand change.
To Meta.
Yeah. First of all, Mark Zuckerberg, very weird vibe. Don't like that. Don't rate that at all. Definitely either an alien, a robot, or an alien robot. Like, it's up for interpretation. But any video I see of him, I'm like, something's not quite right there. And yeah, they've changed their like company name to Meta, and they're gonna create this like virtual world for us to live in, I think.
Yeah.
Which A, sounds like an interesting concept. B, very concerning that rich people are now like, we're going to create a fake reality to live in, because it's like, okay, how long until we destroy Earth? And we need to just like plug in permanently.
I don't think I've ever told you this, but one time years ago, I was at a talk that Slavoj Žižek, the famous Slovenian communist philosopher, aka my favourite philosopher, because he's just mad. He's always on a mad one.
Yeah.
I was at a talk he was doing. I've been to several of his talks. I love him. He's great. He was doing this talk, and some other person was there. But via live stream, do you know who was also there?
Not Mark.
No, via live stream, Julian Assange of WikiLeaks.
Hey.
And they were just like chatting away, and I was
What?
like,
That's
"What is my? This
crazy.
is crazy. The simulation's
Yeah.
glitching. This is fucking amazing." Julian Assange it was when he was still stuck in the embassy.
Okay.
And Julian Assange said that he has on Good Info that. He said it's like the higher ups in Google are trying to create some sort of basically Matrix type
Yes.
virtual reality, so the elites can upload their consciousness, which is something that Elon Musk went on Joe Rogan's podcast and said, no, AI is like big bad and we're going to open Pandora's box and we're not going to. And then in the next breath, he's trying to create something you can upload your consciousness into, and it's like, oh, he pisses me off.
Yeah.
Big turnaround a few years ago. I was like, oh, Elon Musk, I like him. No. Well,
I can
it's like
definitely see it happening.
shocked. We're like top 10 shock twists, or like
Plot
anime
twist of all-
top
anime
10
betrayals.
anime betrayals and anime supervillain fights.
Have you seen though that Elon Musk is saying that if the UN can prove that £6 billion will solve world hunger, he'll give it to them?
Yes.
Do you believe it?
He said that he would want it all accounted for as well. So
now
like a
everyone's
full
like,
receipt.
"Ooh, Elon."
Oh,
But I don't know how much I
we
believe
love
that.
you. He wouldn't do it. Well, we'd see. It's incredible though that 6 billion to him wouldn't be anything, because he's got now worth like
I know,
200 billion. That's mad. But yes, Julian Assange was saying that like the higher ups in Google are trying to create a matrix for the elites to go live in,
I
like to
believe it,
fuck the
innit?
rest of us off.
Yeah.
And he was saying that about, when was this? This must have been about 5 or so years ago when I saw Žižek.
It's happening.
Wild.
Yeah, but Mark is making it sound like it's going to be something we all have access to.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Or we'd
I
be
don't
stuck on
know.
like a really low level. And they would, well, not me
You
actually.
can live
not
in
me.
virtual reality, but it will be shit.
It would
You're
just
in the
be like-
smokers area of virtual reality world.
Smokers area is always the best place to be.
True, actually.
You get the best conversations and you get to have loads of cigarettes. Don't
Yeah.
smoke. Smoking
And
is
Mark
bad.
Zuckerberg's not there, so
You know that picture of Mark Zuckerberg where he's surfing and he's got all the sunscreen on?
yeah.
So I was like
Unfortunately, yes.
a few days old when I realised that that's a real picture. I always thought that was photoshopped just to make fun of him. Like, haha, look, Mark Zuckerberg, big alien man.
Yeah.
No, it's real.
Every picture of Mark Zuckerberg looks photoshopped, though.
Oh, he's terrifying.
It always looks like a Madame Tussauds wax figure whenever I see like an image of him.
Not you coming from Mark Zuckerberg, the billionaire.
Mark, please let me into your fake reality.
You're going to get blacklisted from his
It
virtual
will be
reality
simply
world.
only me.
Aw.
When the rapture happens and everyone goes off into like the virtual world, I'll be the only one left walking the streets.
That's very sad for you. Anyway,
Nobody cares.
I don't buy that Mark Zuckerberg is actually an alien though.
Okay.
Because I don't like that. I think he's more of a
Hot
robot.
take. Hot take of the week.
I think if anything, he's more of an android sent
Yeah.
like back from the future,
Yeah.
trying to mimic human behavior.
Yeah.
I don't think that he's an alien, because I would just kind of assume. I think that if there are aliens disguised as humans, sorry, extraterrestrials, sorry,
Yeah.
Demi Lovato.
Yeah.
If there are extraterrestrials disguised as humans, they're so advanced that they would
Yeah.
be able to mimic human behavior really well.
Sure, a lot better than Mark Zuckerberg
Yeah,
does.
exactly. He's not even trying.
Yeah,
Have you
that's
seen him
fair.
like drink glasses of water? When
Yes.
he was in that
Pretending to.
hearing, and that man was like, "So has Facebook got access to this?" And he was like, "No,"
No.
shaking. Poor Mark Zuckerberg.
I saw this meme that was like, Facebook has announced the new name of their company, and it was like Skynet. I was like, yeah, that's probably accurate.
Meta as well. Do they think they're being clever?
No.
Do they think that they're being clever?
Probably he
because
does.
look, I have Facebook and the user base on there.
Yeah.
What crowd are you trying to like?
Not the most. We're literally coming for everyone today.
I know it's because it's
Not
so
the
early.
Facebook users.
What are they going to do? Leave nasty comments? Good. It's good for
Probably.
the engagement.
And then we'll delete them. And then when they say we're deleting them, we'll call them liars.
It's the perfect plan.
The perfect crime.
Is there anyone else we want to slag off today? Oh, can I mention
God.
Twilight briefly?
Yeah, please do.
Yes, because I finally finished my Twilight script. I'm so mad about that. I've not even started filming. It's going to be a 3-hour long video. It's 61 pages of just raging.
Feature length, ALIZEE YEEZY.
Raging about Twilight. I'm already mad about this video idea because I do think that this is probably the most effort I've ever put into a video.
Yes,
Because
God
it has
forbid.
been like on off. It's not been weeks of work. It's been on off because
Yeah.
you get a bit tired after reading Twilight for 4 hours straight.
It's a full-time job.
It's just, it's exhausting. But I always liked Carlisle. Because I always thought it was decent. It's all right.
Is this one of the characters?
Yeah, he's the dad.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So he's, have you read Twilight?
No.
Wow. So Carlisle was, have you not seen the films?
Like, you know.
Sure.
Like, my eyes have, like, witnessed it. But, like,
You didn't go in.
there's nothing in there, yeah, of Twilight, really.
Lights run no one's home.
Exactly.
Carlisle is Edward's vampiric father. And, you know, I give Edward a lot of stick for being 107 and dating Bella, who's 17.
Yeah.
It's not on. And it's not
Appropriate
like...
criticism, I'd say.
And it's not like, oh, well, but he's got the body of a 17-year-old and they're frozen. No, because he's still got the accumulated experience and knowledge of someone who's lived for, you know, well, someone who's a Centaurian. He's basically Bella's, like, great-granddad's era.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. However, Carlisle...
Millennials and Gen Zers.
Carlisle was about 260 years of age, between 260 to 280, when he met Renee. No, Renee's the mum, Esme. I was thinking of Renesmee, which is the horrible little mutant baby.
Yeah.
The horrible
Goblin,
little
goblin
freaky baby.
child.
The
Horrible.
Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah.
Esme. And apparently, I mean, I didn't read this bit so far, but I'm in the first one. But I did see some people online saying that actually they met when she was 16. Right. And then she had a husband and like, I think her baby died and she tried to, you know, off herself. Just trying to handle that delicately. It didn't come across like that.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry.
Are we
about
still
that.
talking about Twilight?
Yeah. This is the backstory. So all the
Yeah.
interesting stuff doesn't actually happen in
In
Twilight.
the book, it's before.
Rosalie's backstory, very interesting, would make a great book. Alice's backstory, very interesting. Even Edward's time where he was using his like mind reading skills to hunt down murderers and drink their
Yeah.
blood. That's a more interesting concept than fucking
But
Twilight.
don't you think that says something about the fact that Stephanie Meyer, like the things that she leaves open for you to interpret and you to imagine is better than the stuff that she actually like writes herself?
Yeah, true. So Esme was 16 and then she was about 26 when she tried to kill herself. She failed. So Carlisle turned her into a vampire. And then so she
What
was
is punishment?
I don't know.
Okay.
She was 26.
Now you're never gonna die.
26 and she turned into a
Harsh.
vampire, and then apparently like they were friends and then they fell in love a few years later. But like I ain't give a shit that I've, you know, often said, you know, you're only really properly an adult until the age when you get to the age of 25 because your brain has stopped developing. That's it, right?
Oh god, this is how I'm stuck.
26 and someone who's like 270.
Yeah.
That's a way worse age gap. I don't give a fuck that that's technically an adult. Because how would you be like, you know, almost 3 centuries old, and how could you not see anyone who's like under 100 as a baby?
I guess.
That's so weird.
But I don't
what
know.
a freak show.
I imagine the dating pool is quite small for like 3,000-year-olds.
He's 300. Some of them are like 1,000 years old, I think.
Oh, okay. He's 300 still.
If he was 3,000, that'd be even worse. That'd be literally Cradle Robin.
Yeah, but there's no like speed dating for 300-year-olds. You can't even set your Tinder to show you 300-year-olds. Otherwise, I'd understand.
That would be a much more interesting concept. Then
Yeah.
Twilight, that is a better book there.
Yeah.
Like trying to date when you're almost 3 centuries like old.
Yeah, that would be great.
So weird. Yeah, so anyway, Carlisle, big bad. And also, I think Charlie, Bella's dad, is in
Yeah.
love with Carlisle because he's always like picking
Okay,
him
that's
up.
a book I would read.
Well, I googled.
Brokeback Mountain, but with vampire.
He's being really nice about Carlisle, and I was
Yeah.
thinking, Charlie, like Carlisle's not
Come
gonna,
on, you're
he's,
being a
he's
bit
not gonna
sus,
fuck
aren't
you,
you? Yeah.
right? But then I was like, this is definitely a thing. So I googled it. Yes, Charlie times Carlisle
It's a
fan
thing.
fiction,
Yeah.
sexy erotica, totally a thing.
Yeah, but like, there's a ship for everyone, really. And you must know about Rule 34.
Oh, yeah, of course, not dead.
Yeah, so...
I've been on the internet for at least a month. I know what's
Right.
going on.
So, yeah.
I also think they're like,
No one look that up.
yeah, no, don't. I also think that Bella is a little bit in love with Rosalie because she's always like, because Rosalie don't like Bella, and Bella's always like, oh, insecure and whatever, because Rosalie's so like beautiful. But she goes on
Really
that,
good
like,
impression.
that's Twilight. Just
Yeah.
Edward, I like you, but you like me. Also, Rosalie is like. She says stuff like every girl would be insecure around Rosalie, and it's like, firstly, don't project your insecurities onto others. Secondly, like,
First of all, you're gay.
like that's quite a thing to say about someone, isn't it? Like, oh, every girl's confidence would take a hit being around Rosalie. She's just so beautiful. It just takes my breath away. Like,
I would
get
say
with
you
her.
wanna fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get with her and adopt a little like weird
okay.
freaky baby.
Just say what you mean. Just say you want to fuck.
So anyway, people have that. Well, hopefully by the time this is up, that video's up and it gets 1 million views. If that doesn't get 1 million views, I'm gonna quit.
Oh,
I'm never
God.
gonna try hard with anything ever again.
And no one will ever see my face again, ever.
Salt Bay's there rejoicing somewhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a job at Salt Bay's restaurant.
Yeah, when this all packs up, we're gonna be the chef de parties. It's just like,
We'll be making golden steaks in no time.
and that's all for today's episode. That's the end of it. Nice and quick. Why are you laughing? It's just the end of the episode.
I feel like I just blacked out, and now we're here.
Now we're here. That was a fever dream. I
Yeah.
think Salt Bay might sue us. I think we did something like that today.
I've got no money.
Yeah, me neither.
Because Salt Bay doesn't pay me enough.
And that's the end of that. Thank you so much to Kieron for being here yet again.
My pleasure.
You'll be on again some point next
Let
week.
me know if you're
actually.
getting bored.
I will do. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe. All that. Follow us on Spotify and iTunes because I need that. I need that Spotify deal. I need the exclusivity
Please. I
deals.
need the 1 penny per 1,000,000 streams.
I need it because then I will be able to afford to go to Salt Bay's restaurant. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.